Hello everyone, meet Francesca. She's an Alfa Romeo 159, obviously, and it's the 2.4 diesel version with 200 horsepower, though she isn't just any 2.4 diesel 159, as you will see in a minute. This is the top version with everything except leather heated seats, but she has all the possible sensors, fully electric, windows, mirrors, and heated, and by all sensors I mean fog sensor, rain sensor, smell sensor even. And now as to why she is so special, well, first of all, she received an upgrade from EPI Belgium, highly recommended, and what they did was increase her horsepower from 200 to some 220. Well, first it was 230, but with time that decreased to around 220 something. Of course, the torque was also increased, though I cannot tell you right now by how much. And then she also received a few smaller upgrades done by myself. And these are, as you might have already noticed, first of all all the lights, not only the headlamps. So she's got, of course, HID, but much better bulb model. These are the Philips something, but they have a really cold temperature. And she also received LEDs, and LEDs are, first of all, here. These are Philips too, but most of all here. So these are of course the fog lamps, which were replaced by Cree LEDs, and now they serve as daytime running lights, which is of course much more useful than fog lamps. And of course they can still serve as fog lamps. And now to show you the interior. So as I mentioned, this is one of the highest trims. It's not leather, but as you can see, it is bright beige cloth and with bright interiors. So you can see it's not just the seats, everything here, the whole cockpit is beige. So now to show you a bit of the interior. First of all, this wonderful screen here, highly readable even in direct sunlight, as you can see. It shows all of the car's functions. First of all, of course, the current music setting. That at the moment it's CD, but of course it will also show radio, MP3 with titles that works with MP3s on a CD. And also a CD changer. So another small upgrade that Francesca has received is the SD card reader. So this looks like a standard CD changer, but actually when you press on that, you will see that there are 10 folders. So these aren't actual CDs, they're folders, and each one of them can contain up to 99 MP3s. So that gives you a total of nearly 1000 MP3s per SD card. And the reader itself is here. So that's the small box, and you can see an SD card slipped inside. And oh yeah, it also has a jack, which is quite useful when you want to connect your mobile, for example. Another great feature of this top trim 159 is that the information on the LCD is also displayed on the mini LCD up here, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road. And this can display most of the information that you see on the main screen. And these are of course trip A and B, and you can change those two displayed parameters. So you have of course average consumption, current consumption, then average speed, travel time, range. Of course it's not showing the range right now, since the engine would need to be running. Travel distance, that's of course since the last reset for trip A, and of course it's different for trip B. Now, since this is a sports car, you get those nice, cute, cool and nifty dials. So the first one is the diesel petrol level. The second one is the water temperature with a nice label in Italian which says Aqua. So of course this is an Italian car with an Italian soul, so instead of water you have Aqua. And another thing I noticed is here you have Giri. And the third dial would be the turbo. Of course now it's really hard to see because we have side sunlight, but normally it's actually illuminated in red, so it's pretty well visible, and all of those are directed at the driver, which makes it feel like sitting in a nice sports cockpit. Of course you have full control of most functions from the steering wheel. So here, volume, phone, there actually is a voice control, which I never really used, but as far as I remember it works. Here you have forward, back, and next CD, previous CD. Of course it also works for the radio, changing stations. And on the side here that would be the lights, of course, and well, the indicators, and that's the illumination level. So you're seeing dimmer, so you can dim the display. That also dims all of these, except the air conditioning, funny enough. But that's quite useful at night. It helps you, of course, see better if it's dark outside. You don't have those strong lights inside the car. And now the next thing here would be for the cruise control. So there's a reset, and up and down you set the speed, and of course turn it off, on and off through this one. And here, yeah, typical fog lights. So of course instead of the fog lights we have the LED daytime running lamps. That's the parking sensor, which can be turned off, I believe, and rear fog light, and this one actually I have no idea. Oh yeah, this nice compartment for the GPS here too, by the way. And from this side, that's the typical windshield wipers. Of course they're automatic, so there is a rain sensor, and if you set it on automatic, that's the position it is in right now, I believe. Oops, no, that's the one. That's this one. So actually now they were turned off. So that's this one, and now it's on automatic. Now starting the car. So I've removed the key, so you see what happens when I insert it and what happens if I try to start the engine without inserting the key. So if we try doing that, click, and it will actually show a message: electronic key not recognized. So now when we insert the key, you will see Francesca lighting up here and here with a really awesome Alfa Romeo logo. And speaking of logos, they appear in many different places, apart from the obvious, like when you remove the key. Bye bye Alfa Romeo. And now in terms of storage compartments, so of course you get the standard here for one bottle, and you can actually close that. No, of course it's blocked by that plug. I don't close it completely. Of course under the armrest, which is by the way really nice and soft, there's one and there's two, and this one is actually pretty deep. And the cool thing about this one is that it's actually air conditioned, so you can put a can of Coke there and keep it cool. Now the glove compartment, that's quite typical with a small light there. There's a shelf and some space underneath it. And on the sides, these are, I'd say, sufficient. You can fit, well, okay, you cannot fit a bottle or a can, but you can fit some food or lots of CDs here. And of course, coins or a phone here, and same on the other side. Plus, as I mentioned already, small holder actually for a GPS or for a phone. Actually works quite well with this TomTom. Any other compartments? There's actually some space under the steering wheel, which is hard to notice, but it's actually quite a nice big flat surface, so you can put a phone there. For example, that would be a bit hard to reach, so I would rather use it for maybe for change, maybe for coins, maybe for like a parking card or something like that. You can put it there. And one last compartment, which actually I haven't seen in many cars, is up here, and that's for your glasses. That's pretty awesome. And now it's time to see what the back looks like. So, same door compartments, and of course those on the back of the seats. Here a nice small one for the passengers' phones, and here there's an ashtray, which I've never ever used, and no one has in my car. Hopefully never will. And here you have, of course, two AC vents, which you control, well, not individually, but still separately from the front, which is quite cool. Anything else here? Oh yeah, there's an armrest here, which actually opens, so you get also some storage for the passengers. Usually it's gonna be for like kids' toys, I guess, or lollipops, whatever fits in there. It's probably sticky and gooey. It's also worth mentioning the Jbl Sound System, which is really awesome because you get 8 speakers, 2 in the front, 1 here and 1 down there, and of course 2 in the back. So there's 1 down here and 1 up here. And in terms of legroom, that's a bit of a bother, at least in the back, because in the front there's really nothing to complain about, and there are, I think, at least 3 different axes that you can move the seat in, the front seats, both of them I believe. No, sorry, this one has, I think, 1 lever more than the other one. And in the back, if you have someone like me sitting in the front, I'm 185 centimeters, then there's not much leg room left here, I'm afraid. So yeah, there it's a bit better, but here you would be a bit cramped. On the other hand, the headroom is quite okay, so when I sit here, even if my legs are a bit cramped, my head is still completely free and my hairdo doesn't get messed up. And of course, the most important thing when it comes to storage is the boot or the trunk. So it actually opens with a remote or with a button which is up there next to the mirror. Whoa. Yeah, it's somewhere there. Pop. But let's open it with a key. And by key I mean the remote. And as you can see, it's really spacious. I have no idea how many liters, but I can tell you from practice, you can easily fit 3 quite large suitcases or tons of shopping, so never had any problem with the storage space. Perhaps the only complaint would be the opening, which is quite narrow. This could really go a bit further here and over there, so sometimes it's hard to fit something which otherwise fits inside, but you cannot fit it through that hole. And one last thing, which I guess needs to be shown, is what's under the hood or the bonnet. So it opens here, click, and that's actually a bit of a problem for most car mechanics and also for the technical control guys, the control technique in Belgium, since you need to find this little plastic thingy here and pull it towards yourself, which you cannot do with one hand while lifting the hood, so you will have a nice view of the sky. Well, I'll pull that and open it. Voila. So now it actually opens very nicely by itself. Ta-dam. And that's what the engine looks like. Well, of course it's under that cover, but yeah, I mean, it's an engine. What could it look like? And that's what's under the hood. And just to complement my daytime review, this is what it looks like at night. So these are the mentioned Philips HID bulbs. They are, I believe, 5700 Kelvin, and these are the coldest temperature that Philips makes. And let me just show you what it looks like from the outside. So this is actually the same temperature as the LEDs, roughly at least. But yeah, it's hard to spot the difference, and that's why the LEDs complement the HIDs, the xenons, quite well. So right now you have all three: HID, LED, and LED. And in case you want to see what Franny's lights look like from the back, that's it. And by the way, of course, also LEDs for the license plates. And this is what the cockpit looks like at night. So here you have all the dials. Turbocharger. You can also hear the engine if you're wondering what it sounds like. So everything inside 159 is lit, backlit in red. Everything, even here. You can of course turn on the LCD and also red lights all around. Yeah, built-in telephone, hence the no SIM card warning. And right now it's actually in night mode, so it switches automatically between the full brightness and the night dark mode. And just to show you again the dimmer, how much it changes things at night. So yeah, that's fully dimmed, and that's brightness all the way up. And two things I forgot to mention earlier, but of course the rear mirror is photochromatic. There's a button here. By the way, normally it's a normal light here, normal bulb. It was replaced by me, so now there's a red one. And of course the original one's on the sides, but the red one in the middle is much better. It's less disturbing for the driver at night. And yeah, and that's the button to disable or enable the self-dimming mirror. So this is again how far the HID lights reach, and you can also listen to the engine a bit. It has a really nice purring sound. now let's finish up with some nice shots of the exterior, some nice car porn. First of all, let's check out that awesome booty. Sorry, I meant boot. And the side profile, which is just so sexy. I mean, this is like really, really damn sexy. And by the way, the rims, they're 17-inch, I believe. These are factory Alfa Romeo alloy rims. They're a bit hard to clean, but they look awesome, of course. And the tires, I believe, are 225 by 55, was it? I'm trying to see, but I cannot. Maybe on this one. Yeah, 225 by 50, sorry. R17. Of course, Brembo brakes, disc brakes, rear and front. And actually now when the lights are off, we can do a close-up on the LEDs. Let's see if we can see the front LEDs. Yep, so these are not some sort of cheap Taiwanese $5 a piece LEDs, which basically work for a month tops. These are really awesome, high quality and quite expensive Philips LEDs. And here the best LEDs on the market, which are of course Cree LM2 or whatever it was, the strongest ones. That's what they look like. Let me try to actually get a focus on that, if I can. No. Yeah, just like that. So actually these were replaced, these whole casings, and to fit the Cree LED I needed to open up that hole a bit. I don't know if you can see it here, but yeah, they hold very well. They fit perfectly right now. And yeah, custom frames. Guess where these are from. Ta-da. If anyone wants those images, or actually the whole frame design, I have it in a Corel Draw. I'd be glad to share it. That font is actually a publicly available font from GTA. Oh yeah, the mirrors are, as I mentioned, electric heated and of course foldable. So you can fold them. Unfortunately, they don't fold automatically. You have to press a button, which is somewhere. Got it somewhere there. Oh, no, missed it. Well, it's hidden behind the steering wheel. Yeah, there. Wow. And that will be it. So this is the one and only awesome Alfa Romeo 159 2.4 JTDm Francesca. Thanks for watching.